August 1945 begins with a crowded family wedding. Connie Corleone marries Carlo Rizzi at her father's home. Outside, agents quietly copy the guests' license plates. Inside, Don Vito Corleone receives people asking him for difficult favors. He helps, but every favor creates a future debt. Vito's adopted son Tom Hagen records each promise and manages the business. His sons carry different kinds of danger around the garden. Sonny is loud, quick, and terrible at hiding what he feels. Vito is gentle, nervous, and not trusted with important decisions. Youngest son Michael arrives wearing a military uniform beside Kay Adams. Michael wants a life outside crime. He explains his father's power, then carefully separates himself from it. The family business is a dark room with another door. He believes he can simply stay outside and build something clean. Vito also wants Michael protected from the world his brothers inherited. That makes Michael the favorite son, an unfinished dream. Meanwhile, singer Johnny Fontaine asks Vito to rescue his fading career. Producer refuses Johnny the role that could revive him. Tom flies west and politely carries Vito's request into a mansion. The producer refuses, so the Corleones answer with a horrifying warning. Back in New York, a gangster named Sollozzo proposes a drug partnership. He wants Corleone money, protection, and help growing an empire. Tom sees enormous profit while Sonny reveals interest before Vito answers. Vito refuses because drugs could destroy his political trust. Sollozzo notices Sonny's mistake in the family's division. Vito sends loyal enforcer Luca Brasi to pretend he might defect. The trick fails and Luca walks directly into a fatal trap. Then Vito's driver calls sick on a suspicious day. Vito stops at a fruit stand while weak Frito waits nearby. Gunmen rush forward and shoot Vito before escaping through the street. Frito fumbles his weapon and collapses beside his wounded father. Sollozzo kidnaps Tom, expecting Sonny to accept the deal. But Vito survives and the kidnapping becomes a very awkward business meeting. Michael sees a newspaper report and immediately calls the family compound. He returns home, still treated like a protected civilian. Sonny prepares for war and orders the traitorous driver Polly removed. A dead fish arrives, confirming that Luca will never return. The message is painfully clear even without stationery. Michael watches his clean exit grow smaller. Then he visits Vito's hospital and finds the entire floor unguarded. The police protection has vanished and enemy gunmen may arrive within minutes. Michael moves his father's bed into another room with a nurse. He tells Vito that he is there now and will protect him. For the first time, Michael steps through the family's dark doorway willingly. A grateful baker named Enzo arrives and agrees to stand outside. The two unarmed men pretend to be guards beneath the hospital lights. Their bluff works, and a suspicious car drives away without attacking. Enzo shakes afterward, but Michael notices his own hands are perfectly steady. That tiny detail tells us Michael may fit this world too well. Corrupt police captain McCluskey arrives and punishes Michael for blocking the plan. He breaks Michael's jaw, then sends him away. Sollozzo requests a meeting because Michael appears harmless. Michael surprises Sonny and Tom by volunteering to kill both men. His brothers laugh first because quiet Michael sounds like someone else. Michael calmly calls the killing a business decision. Clemenza hides a gun inside the restaurant chosen for the meeting. He teaches Michael to act quickly, drop the weapon, and walk away. At dinner, Sollozzo speaks while a train screams beyond the walls. Michael retrieves the gun, returns, and ends the negotiation with violence. The civilian son disappears that night, and the family dream disappears too. Michael escapes to Sicily under the protection of Don Tomasino. New York enters a brutal war among the 5 crime families. Vito recovers at home and learns what Michael did for him. His relief is mixed with grief because the protected son is gone. In Sicily, Michael walks through hills that seem far from New York. Then he sees Apollonia and falls in love with startling speed. Her family permits a courtship and the pair marry surrounded by villagers. Michael briefly finds warmth while hiding inside his father's old country. Back home, Connie's marriage has become frightened, violent, and deeply unhappy. Carlo beats her, and Sonny responds with furious protective rage. Sonny previously attacked Carlo and warned him never to hurt Connie again. Carlo now uses that anger as the handle on a carefully built trap. After another desperate call from Connie, Sonny races away without his guards. At a toll booth, waiting gunmen surround his car and kill him. Sonny's anger always moved first, and this time it carries him nowhere. Tom must tell Vito that his loud, impossible oldest son is dead. Vito refuses immediate revenge because another strike would continue the war. He visits Undertaker Bonasera and finally collects the wedding day favor. The request is not revenge, but help making Sonny presentable to his mother. Power cannot repair the son, so Vito asks for one last kindness. In Sicily, Tomasino warns Michael that Sonny's death places him in danger. Michael prepares to leave with Apollonia and their small circle of guards. One guard suddenly runs as Apollonia proudly starts Michael's car. The car explodes, killing her and leaving Michael alone again. The war has crossed an ocean and destroyed his temporary life. Vito gathers the rival families and asks them to accept peace. He allows the drug trade and promises political protection despite his objections. In return, every family promises that Michael can safely come home. Vito swallows revenge because saving Michael matters more than winning today. During the meeting, he watches Barzini control the room from behind Tartaglia. Vito realizes Barzini planned the war and used Tartaglia as a curtain. Michael returns more than a year before he finally approaches Kay. He looks older, colder, and already shaped by the family business. Still, he says he loves her and asks her to marry him. Kay struggles to understand why Michael has become what he once rejected. He promises the Corleone business will become legitimate within 5 years. Kay accepts the promise because she still remembers the man at the wedding. They marry, have children, and build a home beside the guarded compound. But the clean future remains a sentence. Michael keeps moving forward. Vito retires gradually while Michael takes control without announcing a ceremony. Michael plans to move the family west and expand its Las Vegas interests. He wants to buy casino owner Moe Green's share and command everything himself. Frito has been working for Green and has learned loyalty in the wrong direction. When Green insults Michael, Frito publicly defends the casino owner instead. Michael waits until they are alone, then gives Frito one cold warning. Never again should Frito support an outsider against his own family. Michael also removes Tom as wartime advisor before the final struggle begins. Tom feels rejected, but Michael says the decision protects the coming plan. Vito understands that rival families think the Corleones are weak and fading. He tells Michael that Barzini will arrange a meeting through a traitor. Whoever brings that invitation will reveal the hidden knife inside the family. Father and son now sit together as patient strategists, not dreamer and protector. Vito regrets that Michael became a crime boss instead of a respected leader. Michael gently tells him that they will have enough time ahead. But one afternoon, Vito plays with grandson Anthony among tomato plants. The old Don suffers a heart attack and dies in the garden. He leaves behind love, fear, debts, enemies, and one precise warning. At the funeral, Lieutenant Tessio quietly offers Michael a Barzini meeting. Tom expected Clemenza to betray them, but Tessio saw the smarter opportunity. Michael recognizes the signal and calmly accepts the invitation. Before that meeting, Michael becomes godfather to Connie and Carlo's baby. Inside the church, he promises to reject evil and protect the child. Outside, his men move toward every enemy named in his private plan. Barzini, Tattaglia, the other rival bosses, and Moe Green are killed. The ceremony speaks about innocence while Michael's power is built through blood. It is the final bridge between the man he claimed to be and reality. Tessio prepares for the meeting, unaware Michael already knows his betrayal. When Tom blocks him, Tessio understands that the plan has failed. He asks for mercy through an old friendship, but none is promised. Michael then turns to Carlo and speaks with frightening calm. He says Carlo can live if he admits helping Barzini murder Sonny. Carlo confesses that he provoked the fight and guided Sonny into the ambush. Michael says Carlo will leave the family and travel safely to Las Vegas. Instead, Clemenza waits inside the car and kills him before the airport. Connie storms into Vito's old office and accuses Michael of murdering Carlo. Kay asks Michael directly whether his sister's accusation is true. Michael allows one question, then looks at his wife and lies. Kay wants to believe him, so the lie gives her a moment of relief. Then she watches powerful men enter, kiss Michael's hand, and call him Don. The office door closes and Michael finally locks his old self outside. The ending does not say Michael suddenly became evil during one ceremony. His transformation happened through choices that each looked necessary at the time. He protects his father, answers an attack, survives exile, and avenges betrayal. Every step has a reason, and every reason makes the next step easier. Vito used crime to surround his family with loyalty and safety, but that safety always depended on fear, silence, favors, and future violence. Michael inherits the machine and removes the warmth that once softened it. He is more controlled than Sonny and more decisive than hesitant Frito. He is also more patient than Vito, which makes him more dangerous. Kay remains outside the office because Michael now divides love from truth. He says violence protects the family while his lies push family members away. The baptism murders prove that public goodness can hide private cruelty perfectly. Even the word Godfather now carries two meanings inside one quiet room. One meaning promises care for a child beginning a new life. The other names a ruler whose power depends on people disappearing. Michael once believed the Corleone world belonged only to his relatives. By the final frame, that world answers directly to him. The wedding began with an open garden, music, and Michael beside Kay. The story ends in a closed office where Kay can only watch. Michael saved his father, won the war, and lost the door back.